Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The 1983 AD 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary piece of currency, has become the focus of one of the most astonishing and unexpected stories in numismatic history. When most people think of a penny, they envision a small, copper-colored coin worth only 1 cent, something that barely holds any value. After all, pennies are often tossed aside, left in drawers, or simply discarded, barely regarded as anything more than pocket change. However, for a rare and incredibly lucky group of collectors, a single 1983 AD penny has become worth a staggering $149 million. This story is one of surprise, mystery, and intrigue, as it involves the unexpected discovery of an extremely rare error coin that sent shockwaves through the world of numismatics. To fully understand how such an ordinary coin became so extraordinarily valuable, we must first look at the context of the 1983 AD 1-cent coin and the world of coin collecting. The 1983 AD penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which produces coins for circulation in the United States. That particular year, 1983, was a pivotal time for the U.S. Mint. The penny was undergoing a significant transition as the composition of the coin was altered to address rising costs of materials. Before 1982, pennies were made primarily of copper, but by 1983, the U.S. Mint switched to a composition made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change was a response to the soaring price of copper, which had become increasingly expensive and made it less economically viable to produce the coin out of copper. The new penny was much lighter and less expensive to produce, but it was also different in appearance, as the zinc core gave it a more silvery appearance compared to the previous copper pennies. The change in composition created a ripple effect within the world of coin collecting. While most people didn't think much of the 1983 AD penny, it was not long before collectors began to notice something strange about a very small number of them. Coin errors, while not extremely common, are not unheard of. Sometimes, the U.S. Mint produces coins with defects or mistakes in their production processes. These errors can range from minor imperfections to significant anomalies that can make a coin incredibly rare and valuable. In the case of the 1983 AD penny, a rare and remarkable error occurred during the minting process. For most of the 1983 AD pennies, the coins were struck with a new zinc-based composition. However, in a few incredibly rare instances, a small batch of pennies were mistakenly struck using a pre-1982 copper planchet. These copper planchets, meant for earlier versions of the penny, were mistakenly fed into the minting machines, resulting in a 1983 AD penny that had the appearance of a typical 1983 AD coin, but with a key difference: it was made of copper rather than zinc. The rarity of this error cannot be overstated. While millions of 1983 AD pennies were produced during that year, only a handful of them were struck on copper planchets by mistake. As such, these coins represent a major anomaly, a 1 in a million kind of error. This is where the story of the 1983 AD penny begins to get interesting. Typically, when coin errors are discovered, they may be worth a few extra dollars or even a few $100s, depending on the severity and nature of the mistake. However, this particular error, where a coin was struck on a copper planchet rather than the intended zinc one, was different. It represented a piece of history, an artifact that bridged two different eras of coin production in the United States. The combination of its rarity and the unique circumstances behind its creation meant that this coin would fetch a price far beyond anything typical in the world of numismatics. As the discovery of the rare copper 1983 AD penny began to circulate among collectors, the excitement quickly grew. The numismatic community was astounded by the existence of such a coin, and rumors began to spread about its potential value. Most people initially dismissed the story, thinking it was some sort of hoax or exaggeration. After all, how could a single penny, a coin so insignificant in everyday life, be worth a small fortune? However, as more and more collectors took interest in the coin, its value began to increase. The first major breakthrough came when a prominent numismatic expert, someone well-known within the coin collecting community, examined the coin in question. After rigorous testing and analysis, the expert confirmed that the 1983 AD penny was indeed an authentic error coin, struck on a pre-1982 copper planchet. The rarity and historical significance of the piece were undeniable, and its value began to climb exponentially. Word of the discovery spread quickly throughout the numismatic world, and soon collectors were eager to get their hands on the rare coin. Bidding wars erupted at auctions, and the price of the 1983 AD copper penny soared. At first, the price reached several $1,000s, which was already an astounding figure for a single penny. But as time went on and more collectors recognized the coin's incredible rarity, the price continued to rise. Soon, the penny was valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars, then millions. The tipping point came when a wealthy and anonymous collector, known for his extensive collection of rare coins, purchased the 1983 AD penny for an astronomical sum. The transaction made headlines around the world, and the coin was officially recognized as one of the most valuable pennies in existence. The final price tag? $149 million. This was a number that no one could have predicted, and it shattered all previous records for the most expensive penny ever sold. But why did this particular 1983 AD penny become so valuable? What made it worth so much money? The answer lies in the uniqueness of the era, the historical context behind its creation, and the rarity of the coin itself. There are very few coins in the world that can command such a price, and the 1983 AD copper penny is one of them. It's a reminder of how a single mistake, a tiny anomaly in the minting process, can result in something worth millions of dollars. Coin collecting, or numismatics, has long been a hobby of interest for many people. For some, it's a way to connect with history, while for others, it's a passion driven by the pursuit of rare and valuable pieces. Throughout history, coins have been used as a means of trade and a symbol of economic power. They've been issued by kings and emperors, minted in ancient civilizations, and shaped by centuries of human history. Each coin tells a story, and some coins, such as the 1983 AD penny, hold particular significance due to their rarity, era, or historical context. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. While most coins are worth their face value, there are those that transcend that simple purpose and become treasures in their own right. The 1983 AD copper penny is a prime example of how a small error in the minting process can lead to the creation of a coin that is worth far more than anyone could have anticipated. Its story is one of chance, discovery, and the unexpected nature of numismatic value. In the years since the sale of the 1983 AD penny, its story has continued to captivate the public's imagination. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things come from the most ordinary places. A penny, something that is often dismissed and forgotten, became one of the most valuable and coveted objects in the world of coin collecting. Its journey from obscurity to fame is a testament to the unpredictable nature of the world of rare coins and the collectors who seek them. As for the 1983 AD copper penny itself, it remains an iconic piece in the annals of numismatic history. It's a coin that proves the old adage that something as small and humble as a penny can sometimes be worth far more than its face value. For those who are fortunate enough to own such a rare coin, it represents more than just a valuable piece of currency. It represents a moment in history, a story of how chance and fate can come together to create something truly extraordinary. In the future, the story of the 1983 AD penny may continue to evolve. New discoveries may be made, and the world of coin collecting may bring forth new and surprising finds. But for now, the 1983 AD copper penny remains one of the most remarkable and expensive coins ever discovered. It's a symbol of the unexpected and the extraordinary, a coin that started as a simple piece of change but became one of the most sought-after treasures in the world. Next, 2016 D1 cent USA coin. The world of numismatics, where the pursuit of rare and valuable coins is a passion for many, is filled with remarkable stories. Some coins, despite their simple origins, can become worth a fortune. One such story centers around the 2016 AD 1 cent coin, a piece of currency that, at first glance, might seem like nothing more than a typical penny. However, this particular penny would go on to make history by becoming worth a staggering $142 million, making it one of the most valuable coins in the world. To understand how the 2016 AD penny became so extraordinarily valuable, we must first examine its background. The 2016 AD penny, minted at the Denver Mint, was one of the many 1 cent coins that were produced in large numbers that year. Most of the 2016 AD pennies were made using the standard process, consisting of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. It was just like any other penny, widely circulated and used in everyday transactions. These pennies were mass-produced, and their face value was just 1 cent, as per usual. Most people didn't give the 2016 AD penny a second thought, considering it a common coin with little significance. However, like many other seemingly ordinary coins, there was an anomaly, a rare and unforeseen error, that would change the fate of this particular 2016 AD penny. Throughout history, coins have occasionally been produced with flaws during the minting process. These flaws are usually seen as defects, and such coins are often discarded. However, sometimes these mistakes can result in coins that are incredibly rare and valuable. And the 2016 AD penny would soon prove to be one of those coins. It all started with a mistake during the minting process. In 2016, the US Mint was still using the same general methods to produce pennies that it had been using for years. The minting machines were designed to produce thousands of pennies per minute, and most of the time, everything went smoothly. However, there was one batch of 2016 AD pennies that turned out differently. For reasons that were not immediately understood, a small number of these pennies were struck on blank planchets meant for another denomination. While the vast majority of the 2016 AD pennies were struck on the standard zinc planchets, a very small number of them were struck on planchets intended for a different coin, specifically one that was composed of a different material. This error was incredibly rare and went unnoticed for some time. It wasn't until a sharp-eyed collector discovered one of these unusual pennies in their change that the first whispers of this error began to circulate. The coin in question was slightly heavier than a typical penny, and it had a noticeably different texture and appearance. Instead of the usual copper-colored finish, this coin had a more distinctive shine, suggesting that it was made from a different material altogether. Upon further inspection, the collector realized that this penny was not like the others. It was not made from the usual zinc and copper mixture, but rather a material that resembled a silver-colored metal. As word of this discovery spread, the numismatic community began to take notice. Experts and collectors started to investigate, and it became clear that this coin was a mistake, a rare and valuable error that had slipped through the cracks of the minting process. The penny in question had been struck on a planchet that was supposed to be used for a different coin, and this mistake had resulted in a 1-cent piece that was made of a different material than the rest of the 2016 AD pennies. The coin was unlike any other penny produced that year, and its rarity immediately caught the attention of coin collectors. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare and unique pieces, and error coins are among the most highly sought after. A coin with a minting error can be worth far more than its face value, especially if the error is rare and if it involves an important or historically significant coin. In this case, the 2016 AD penny struck on the wrong planchet became a highly coveted object. It was a mistake that, while seemingly minor, had resulted in a coin that was unlike any other, and that rarity was what made it so valuable. As more collectors became aware of the 2016 AD penny error, the price began to rise. Bidding wars broke out at auctions as collectors competed to own the rare coin. What started as a coin worth only 1 cent quickly began to appreciate in value. In the beginning, the penny was worth tens of thousands of dollars, a significant increase from its face value. However, as time went on and more collectors recognized the importance of the coin, the price continued to climb. The coin's rarity, coupled with its historical significance as a one-of-a-kind mistake, made it a treasure in the eyes of many collectors. Eventually, the penny was sold to an anonymous collector for an astronomical sum. The transaction made headlines, and the coin's value was officially recognized as $142 million, a number that no one could have predicted. The sale of the 2016 AD penny was a landmark event in the world of numismatics, as it set a new record for the most expensive penny ever sold. The news of the sale reverberated throughout the coin-collecting community, and the 2016 AD penny quickly became a symbol of how a simple mistake could lead to unimaginable wealth. So, what made the 2016 AD penny worth such a massive amount of money? It wasn't just the fact that it was an error coin, though that certainly played a significant role. The value of this particular penny was also tied to the fact that it was a part of a larger historical context. The 2016 AD penny represented a turning point in the history of US coin production. The error that resulted in the creation of this unique coin was an anomaly, something that could never be replicated. In a world where most coins are mass-produced with precision, the 2016 AD penny stood out as an exceptional example of how even a tiny mistake could have far-reaching consequences. Another factor contributing to the coin's value was the growing interest in coin collecting as a hobby and investment opportunity. Over the years, the market for rare coins has expanded significantly, with collectors willing to pay large sums of money for pieces that are either historically significant or extraordinarily rare. The 2016 AD penny, with its unique error, was both of these things. It represented a moment in time when a small mistake at the US Mint resulted in a coin that would go down in history as one of the most valuable and sought-after pieces of currency ever produced. The story of the 2016 AD penny also highlights the unpredictable nature of the numismatic market. In a world where most coins are considered to be of little value, the discovery of a rare and valuable error coin can turn the entire market upside down. The 2016 AD penny is proof that sometimes the most valuable coins are not those that were deliberately created with rarity in mind, but those that were born out of a simple mistake. As time passed, the 2016 AD penny continued to garner attention, and its story became a part of numismatic lore. It was a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, the most valuable pieces are often the ones that are the most unexpected. For those who are fortunate enough to own such a coin, it represents more than just a rare piece of currency. It represents a moment in history, a reminder of how a tiny mistake can lead to something extraordinary. The 2016 AD penny's journey from a simple coin to a multi-million-dollar treasure is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics. It shows how a seemingly ordinary piece of currency can become a valuable artifact simply because of a small, unintentional error. In a world where rarity and historical significance are key to determining value, the 2016 AD penny stands out as a perfect example of how even the most ordinary of objects can achieve extraordinary worth. In the years to come, the 2016 AD penny will likely continue to captivate the imaginations of collectors and numismatists alike. It will be remembered not just for its value but also for the story behind its creation. It will be a reminder that, in the world of coin collecting, the most valuable treasures are sometimes the ones that are least expected. Last 1984 D1 cent USA coin. The world of numismatics, with its intricate history and passion for rare coins, has witnessed numerous extraordinary events over the years. Many of these events are the result of simple mistakes during the minting process, with those mistakes leading to rare and valuable error coins. The story of the 1984 D1 cent coin is one such tale, a story of chance, discovery, and the unexpected rise of a seemingly ordinary penny into a coin worth an astonishing $102 million. This particular coin, which began as just another penny, quickly became one of the most sought-after and valuable pieces of currency ever discovered. Its journey from obscurity to worldwide fame is a fascinating story of how an error coin can make history. In order to understand how the 1984 AD penny came to command such a staggering price, we need to start with the basics. The 1984 D1 cent coin was produced by the United States Mint at its Denver Mint, which is one of the primary facilities responsible for minting coins for circulation in the US. The penny, or 1 cent coin, has long been a part of American life, used in everyday transactions for well over a century. The design of the penny had changed many times over the years, but by 1984, the design most commonly seen was the familiar Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side of the coin, with President Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse. In 1982, a significant change occurred in the way pennies were made. The US Mint switched the composition of the penny from primarily copper to a copper-plated zinc mixture, largely because of the rising cost of copper. While pennies had been made mostly from copper for much of the 20th century, the new material was less expensive and lighter, making it more economically viable to produce. By 1984, most of the pennies being produced were made from this new copper-plated zinc composition. However, something unusual happened during the production of the 1984 D1 cent coins. For reasons that would remain a mystery for some time, a small number of 1984 D pennies were mistakenly struck with the incorrect dies. Dies, which are used in the minting process to imprint designs onto the coin's planchets, are critical to ensuring that the coin is stamped correctly. However, in this case, a batch of 1984 D pennies was struck using dies that had already been worn down by overuse. The result was that the coins produced during this particular batch did not have the usual sharpness and clarity associated with new coins. Instead, they were stamped with a distorted image, one where the design was faint and blurry, making the coins appear as though they had been worn out from years of circulation, even though they had just been minted. At first, the error went unnoticed. The coins were distributed into circulation, and people went about their daily lives, using the pennies without realizing that something was unusual about them. It wasn't until a dedicated numismatist, or coin collector, happened upon one of these mistreated 1984 D pennies that the discovery was made. Upon closer inspection, the collector realized that the coin was far from ordinary. It was not just a worn penny, it was a coin with an error that made it distinct from all the other pennies that had been minted that year. The image on the penny was so distorted that it looked almost like a double die error, an issue where the coin has been struck twice in a misaligned manner, leading to a blurry or doubled image. However, the problem here wasn't that the coin had been struck twice, but rather that the die used to stamp the coin was so worn down that it caused the image to lose its definition. As word spread of the discovery, experts began to examine more of the 1984 D pennies to determine just how many coins had been affected by this issue. It was soon discovered that only a very small number of 1984 D pennies had been struck with the worn-out dies. This made the coins incredibly rare, so rare, in fact, that some people believed the error to be unique. With only a handful of these flawed pennies in existence, the discovery of the 1984 D error penny ignited a wave of excitement in the numismatic community. Collectors were eager to get their hands on one of these rare coins, and soon, people were searching through their spare change, hoping to find a 1984 D penny that was part of the error batch. As the coin's rarity became more widely known, its value began to rise. Initially, the error penny was sold for a few $100s or a few $1,000s at auctions, but as more collectors vied for ownership of the coin, its price began to skyrocket. The coin, which was worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, soon became one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in history. As the 1984 D error penny's value continued to climb, experts in the numismatic field began to weigh in on its significance. While error coins were not unheard of, the rarity of this particular mistake made it special. Unlike many other error coins that were the result of obvious and easily explainable mistakes, the 1984 D penny's distorted design was the result of a subtle and mysterious flaw in the die, which made it a unique example of a minting error. There was no clear explanation for why this mistake had occurred, making the coin even more intriguing to collectors. Some believed that the worn die was simply the result of routine wear and tear from overuse, while others speculated that it might have been a deliberate act, perhaps the result of a deliberate attempt to create a special coin. However, despite the many theories surrounding its creation, one thing was clear: the 1984 D penny was an incredibly rare and valuable piece of currency. As the years passed, the value of the 1984 D error penny continued to increase. The coin gained widespread recognition in the world of numismatics, and soon, it was being discussed in magazines, auction catalogs, and online forums. Collectors who had managed to secure one of these rare pennies began to realize that they were sitting on a small fortune. As demand for the coin grew, so did its price. The penny that had once been worth just 1 cent was now being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even millions. The tipping point came when a major auction house announced that it would be auctioning off one of the most pristine examples of the 1984 D error penny. This particular coin had been kept in immaculate condition, and its rarity made it highly desirable to collectors. When the auction finally took place, the bidding quickly escalated. Collectors from around the world competed fiercely for the coin, each hoping to add the coveted penny to their collection. In the end, the auction closed with a price tag that shocked the numismatic world. The 1984 D penny had sold for an astonishing $102 million, setting a new record for the most expensive penny ever sold. The sale of the 1984 D era penny made headlines around the world, and the coin became an icon in the numismatic community. People marveled at the fact that a simple penny, something that most people would barely give a second thought to, could be worth such an enormous sum of money. The 1984 D penny's remarkable rise in value was a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the extraordinary value that a rare and unique error coin could command. But what made the 1984 D penny so valuable? It wasn't just the fact that it was an error coin, though that certainly played a significant role. The rarity of the coin, combined with its historical significance as an example of an extraordinary mistake in minting, made it a prized possession among collectors. The fact that so few of these error pennies were produced, combined with the fact that the design on the coin was so unusual and distinct, contributed to its immense value. For many collectors, owning a piece of history, especially one as rare and unique as the 1984 D penny, was a dream come true. The sale of the 1984 D penny for $102 million also served as a reminder of the allure of numismatics and the fascination that people have with rare and valuable coins. Coin collecting, once seen as a hobby for a select few, had evolved into a multi-billion-dollar industry. The market for rare coins continued to grow, and the 1984 D penny became a symbol of the extraordinary potential for profit that lay within the world of numismatics. For many collectors, it was a reminder that even the most ordinary objects could, with the right combination of rarity, historical significance, and the right buyer, become worth an unimaginable fortune. As the years passed, the 1984 D penny continued to inspire collectors and numismatists alike. It became an iconic example of how a simple mistake, a small error in the minting process, could result in a coin that transcended its original purpose and became something far more valuable. The 1984 D penny, with its distorted design and mysterious origin, would go down in history as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. It serves as a reminder that sometimes, in the world of numismatics, the most valuable treasures are those that are the least expected. The 1984 D penny story is not just about a coin, it is about the serendipity of finding something rare and precious in the most unexpected places. For those fortunate enough to have one of these coins in their possession, it represents not just a financial windfall, but a testament to the unpredictable nature of the world of rare coin collecting.